Hey Andrew, how you doing? Hi Ray. Gee, I forgot to copy down. Let me see. Trying to think if there is. I better leave it alone. I'll just leave it up to. Let me think. Maybe I could do it this way. That probably wouldn't work. Hi, Goldfinger. Anyway, um, how's everything doing today? I I still have my. I don't have my Patriots hat on, my football team, New England Patriots. Oh well. There'll be another game this week, maybe a Super Bowl. Who knows? So, what do you guys want to talk about? This is unplanned, unlikely, unreal. Let me see if I can hang on a second. Okay, you guys, don't sit there. Ah, here we go. Hi, Remus. I've been meaning to write because this weekend I bought one of those beautiful Parmigiani Fleuriets from the watch outlet that still have those stickers. They don't let you see anything. I tell you, those are beautiful watches in a way. Remus, you may be able to get a really good deal because a lot of people will see those and go, nah, uh, you know, it's really amazing. Hi, Isa. How you doing? Have you seen it yet? Did you get it without the stickers? I mean, did it arrive yet? It come with all the stickers on it. That's crazy. I don't know why they do that. I even wrote them and told them. I said, you guys are nuts. What are you thinking? And I never got a response from them. Well, yeah, I did. They said, well, if we take the stickers off, it's somehow some warranty or something is invalid. Says take the stickers off, take a picture, and put them back on. I won't tell anybody. Oh yeah, yeah. I have one of their GMTs, the hemispheres. I said those are yeah, sometimes those are the best deals. Now those are something you're too tired to be rational about it, so it's all heartfelt. Oh, this is yeah, I know they're great deals, Remus. I'm surprised they've lasted as long as they have. Hey, lease time. Okay, Isa, what Isa, what kind of watch did you buy? A really cool watch. Okay. That's I didn't need that much detail, Isa, but thanks for letting me know. Always interested in somebody who gets a new watch. I'm really interested, Remus. When you get your watch, the next time we have one of those, say, "Hey, remember that watch I got with the stickers? It arrived, and either it's great or I see why they put the stickers on them." Oh man, um, I was just getting something. I was looking at Cuddlecron Wave 316L SS two line model CS. Okay, what is that? A Mimi watch? Wonder what that is. Anyway, this is my what's it called? Uh, Everything's backwards on this when I see the screen. Okay, this is um Moritz Grossman, and somebody was asking me about it, and I wasn't sure what to say. I'm still not. And he and there was it looked like some kind of corrosion around here or something like that. Either that or it just was a watch that needed a little TLC. I'm not sure what it was. Um, I don't know to what extent, maybe some of you guys know, the with a good, a good, case, you shouldn't get either a messy patina or or corrosion, should you? That was my understanding. I don't know. I had, mine has none of that on it, but it does have a background. Still love this watch because it's such good horology. Well, look at all of those different hands. Now, what were they thinking? Well, we put these hands in the background. I got like, here, give me another shot of that. Whatever they were drinking when they made the decision. Still love the watch. Okay, what else is going on in the world, the wide world of watchdom? You know, Remus, what you did, I think it's always a good idea, no matter what the watch looks like, is to find a good picture of it, a professionally photographed watch, and you go on Google and, like you said, you put in a reference number or something. GPHG is a good site too. A lot of times the GPHG will have actually they'll have a drawing. One of it's See, I think I just had one recently. See if I can find it. Um, Let me show you guys something. All of these pictures are all from renderings that you get when you're during the development, but a lot of, I mean, they're they're really almost perfect. Let me show you some. This is the entire Lyrique collection. All of these are, let me see if I can make it bigger. All of these are done with the newest one, Air Sutant. This one at the bottom down here, you can see it any better. I guess not. Let me see. Maybe Air Sutant down here at the bottom. That's still in the progress of development. Hasn't been colored yet. But this one right here, uh, Air Zulu, is way along in production. And the straps have been being produced. The straps with the center textile and stuff. And so, this is usually what you see on the GPHG because the person entering the watch hasn't quite finished it yet, or doesn't have a either that or it doesn't have a photograph. And so most people use these things. Take a look at them, you'll see what I mean. But we're thinking of using a professional photographer for the next GPHG. Hi, Mr. RKR6. How's it going, man? Mr. RK. Okay, RKR. Um, anyway, so a lot of times when I use those pictures all the time, because they're, like, ideal of what the watch is supposed to look like. Once it's finished, see if I got any over here. Some of them look really great, and other ones, uh, the completion of it, well, the ones Lyrique had, we've had real good luck on that. Once they finally get them done right, they look fantastic. I think Lyrique is in for some really amazing new watches. I mean, we're really entering sort of a new phase, sort of our, constant force, really high level constant force watches, I think, that are on the menu. Both of the, our newest ones, the, Air Zulu and Air Sultan, that's our first watches that we've had sort of more complex. And when I say we, these are all made by probably the best movement maker in the world by Agenor. And so, what we do, we just we want that one. This is what we want. They know how to make it. Isn't it amazing? Zurich watches for fun. I love Zurich watches, and I'll tell you, least time, sometimes if you're saving for a really nice watch, sometimes you gotta get one. And that's the kind I would get because they have with those the way they have the different, I don't know, I guess, different rows, I guess. There's sort of a, what do you call a row when it's in an arc? And then you have the hands with different lengths. They're called, yeah, they have they're like batons, and there's something, one end is higher than the other. I'll tell you, they're a lot of fun. Hi, Dial. How you doing? Miss Dial mesmerized. Great name. And a watch lover. Great to see you guys. Okay, I've been screwing around enough. Let's hear what you guys want to talk about. Let's come up with a topic that we can really kick around and have some fun with. Hey, GMT Master. Well, it's always good to see you. It doesn't matter, sooner or later. Wandering Hours. Boy, I think the Wandering Hours, wasn't that originally done or close to originally done by Audemars Piguet? And then, some other companies picked it up. Uh, the my favorite, well, my absolute favorite is the H. Moser version of it. But the, another one, the most affordable one is that Gorilla. Have any of you guys seen the Gorilla with Wandering Hours? I don't know. I think for, I don't know how good they are in terms of, like, yeah, you take a look, what time is it? I don't know. Listen, I got on my Urban Jurgensen today. This was a watch that I recommend anybody who gets a watch is to do it in a way that I got this one, and I'll tell you why. For years, I wanted a Urban Jurgensen, couldn't afford it, couldn't even get near it. And, yeah, they were like, I think they started around, at least this model did, around 34,000. I didn't have that kind of money, or at least I didn't have the kind of money that you that you need to get a watch like that without getting a lawyer. So, one day, just by accident, ran into this thing that, what's his name? Federico had at, Del Rey Watches, and they had all of these great buys on this, on a number of different ones, and Rancher and I picked up a couple. Rancher got one that was, platinum, I think, and I got this one, and, we both got, like, half price almost. So what had happened was that when there's a big change, like if a company is sold or something like that, what they'll do is they'll take the old watches from the old inventory and just dump them. They literally did that with, Federico. They said, "Here, well, these are the ones from the shop. We gotta get them off the shelves because Kerry Boot and Lauren and his crew is coming in to get them." Glad I got it when I did, but, this is the kind of thing that are fun to look for. I think this is it seems that in a general term, the, watch outlet, th that's what they do. They say, "Well, we're not making this model anymore. Here, watch outlet, you guys can sell it," and that's why you can get these incredible deals there. Um, they're just too I tell you, the only reason I stay away from watch outlet is there's too many temptations, too many watches, like, I always wanted one of those. What are they? QF, something Fleurier. Um, Geez, those are nice ones. Yeah, Zurich's got 'em also. Yeah, the relaunched ones are very cool, Ray. The problem is the price isn't. I mean, the price is like, what are they, $100,000 or something just ridiculous like this. I thought 30,000 was a lot. It's a lot of watch, but 100? My god. Really, Dial, what kind of, wandering hour did you get? There are a lot of that's one of the things. This is, I suppose, one of the more frustrating things. In fact, one of the reasons we started Lyrique. There were all of these really cool watches with really cool movements and terrible, I mean, high prices that we simply couldn't afford. And so we took away everything. We took away the marketing, we took away advertising, we took away warehousing, we took away dealer profit. We took everything away except manufacturing costs, and that's what we're able to get really great watches for that. Now, there were a lot of hard lessons we learned. We're still learning that, but man, what an adventure. Okay, hey, yeah, I think you're right, Ray. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that was why I'm able to get one before uh I don't know, they making a lot of them, or they're great watches still. That's one thing that, I was glad to see that he didn't do something that he shouldn't have done. Dial, what kind of, fun what kind of wandering hour did you get that was fun? I can't imagine one not being fun. I've been tempted by that gorilla, and I guess if I took a look at Zurich's, I probably want one of those too. It's called the Auto 8 King and has a playing card theme. Hmm, that's good. That's cool. Do you know who makes it? Auto King 8? Okay, what else is going on? This is not planned, it's totally whatever you guys wanna talk about. Okey doke. Let me see. I try to anybody thinking? Deet, deet. Sometimes when I do this, balloons come up and I was gonna help you. Oh, there's Horology by the Sea. How you doing, Brandon? Good to see you. We got a bunch of people. We got snow. Let me see what the temperature is. The temperature this morning we got up was 8 degrees, Fahrenheit, which is about 100 below centigrade. It has been cold. We had all of this snow, and we have no I mean, it's a long story, but, we don't have somebody to do the snow plowing, and so we'd go out with shovels and shovel a little way to go because we got this giant driveway, so we just shovel enough so we could walk up to the street and get the mail. Well, out of nowhere, we still this guy comes with a snowblower and did the whole driveway for us, and we don't know who sent him or who he was, or where we can get him in case it snows again. So and then it's bright, super bright outside. Any of you who are skiers probably know this. When you're skiing, you need really dark glasses, and sort of the glare coming from the sun and from the down below. And, so it really lit up my room. It's a micro brand. Yeah, they got the micro brands are doing a lot of interesting things. They're a fun and they're fun to have around too because I don't know, you can get a lot of good stuff. Hey, speaking of micro brands, I don't know if it'd be called a micro brand or not, but sort of an involvement with it, and this is, and I'm gonna say his name wrong, it's Teddy Badasaw or something like that. He and, Roland Murphy, got together and, made a watch with a, Schwarz ETN movement in it. Sounds like fun. Just finished the call. Where are we? No. Where are we now? Oh, I get it. Okay, you've been on the phone. Um, oh man, I've got some of these Zoom meetings coming up. I the if any of you are in a Zoom meeting, have you ever been in a Zoom meeting and they're in sort of a big room and the whole everything sort of big echoing sound to it. Um, RJM, well, what is it? It's about 12,000, something like that. Ray, I didn't how did I jinx gold watches? Man, I tell you, I had a serious I just finished a video that provided great buys on gold watches. Come on. I didn't jinx them. Hey, Ed, how's it going? What's the chat today? That's what we've been it's open to anything and everybody. Um, anyway, the thing I liked about the watch that, Teddy and, Roland Murphy did, plus the fact that I just like Roland Murphy. I don't know Teddy, haven't talked to him, but I have spent some time with Roland at, watch shows. Just he is nobody looks less like a watchmaker than than Roland. Roland looks like a steel worker or so. He's just great guy, but he doesn't look like a watchmaker, but he makes nice watches. And the thing that he did with Teddy, um, I don't know, the uses a Schwartz ETN 200 is called a ASE 200, I think, or 211, something like that. Which is sort of interesting because that's sort of, and if you look at the price of Swarovski ETN watches, they're not inexpensive at all. And I think that the price that Teddy and RGM have, it's not that much compared to other Swarovski ETNs, and they're excellent movements, really outstanding movements. I said it's not my fault. Honest, it's not. Ah, I see, I see. One of the things where they finishing can really go into of course, my big thing i is strong horology, okay? And I that's one thing about Swords ET, and they have strong horology. And, the one I think they have uses a micro rotor. What they do to me that's really interesting was Schwarz ETN. They've got these two barrels, okay? Well, actually, they're two sort of indentations. They look like holes, and here you have your base of your movement, and then you got these two indentation. And what they can be used for, one can be used as a barrel, and the other one as a micro rotor, or they both can be um, barrels, and so you end up and in parallel. So that's why I get excited about them. I think they're great. But yeah, I mean, like, 14,000 compared to 100,000. But I of course haven't looked at the finishing and stuff on it. I think that a watch should have decent finishing, but man, I tell you, I think that if you're going to spend money on a watch, the place to spend it is on the movement, because the finishing finishing is nice to see. I like nice finishing, but I'm not sure in the long run uh, how that's going to affect the watch. Let me get something here. This one, the finishing here, whoop, there it is. This is on the Urban Jorgensen, and they have sort of the sun ray instead of having the Geneva waves. They're these this sort of a they're sort of a they're a wave, but they're more of like a sun ray kind of thing. And the finishing, you know what I got to start doing? When I was at a show and I met with FP Jorn, I showed him my watch, and he carries a loop like I'd carry a fountain pen or something. I don't know. Fountain Nobody uses fountain pens anymore. Like I'd carry, I don't know what, something. But he's always got this loop like in his pocket, and you can really. I wish I could put it. Let me see if I put it up here. No, that doesn't help. This is one. This is, by the way, too. This is what I got this at a FP Jorn boutique. They gave me the one of their swag, this little rubber. I don't know what. It's a loop with a rubber case to it, and so you don't put your eye out or knock yourself out with it. Something. Okie doke. Hi, Allie. Thoughts on watches released by. Okay, Allie, good question. First of all, let me ask everybody else, what do you guys think of LVMH as sort of making watches? Isa, I agree with Isa. The LVMH is an outfit to keep an eye on, okay? They own Bulgari, and Bulgari's been somehow given something for its uh, resources for making its movements. It started having its own movements with I think it's called the BVL 191. They've had that for a few years, and that was sort of sort of a, a good, strong, what I'll call a sort of a mid-range, like a Rolex, that kind of, or without the silicon. So they have that. Plus, they have money. My God, they got lots of money. They're very rich compared to a regular watch company. Even compared to Rolex, mucho richo, and they have Zenith. That's another one they own. They have this thing called Le Temps La Temps Fabrique, La Temps Fabrique, which is their sort of top level watchmaking thing. And they got two guys who are really extraordinary watchmakers in that. And I'm trying to think who else they have. Anyway, um, I agree with Isa. That is a company to keep an eye on. Something some of their stuff coming out, I know is I mean they're good at making money. So I don't know, man. Ed, yeah, you're right. I sort of go overboard on movements, but you got to look at the case and this and that and everything else. You're right. I mean, to have a watch that you enjoy, um, would you take a great movement if it hurt your eyes to look at it? Yeah, I'd take a great movement, take out whatever hurt my eyes and put it in something that I liked. The thing is, that's where on really good watches, that's where all the money goes. If you look at the watches that are in the jewelry competition and the I don't know some other kind of art uh, competition, all of the energy is on the dial, and they don't. People who why bother even to consider the movement? And they look great, but I don't know. There's something that to me, the movement is the soul of the watch. Okay, now that's sounding about as mystical as I get on that thing. I just noticed my nose is red. Gotta lay off the hooch. Okay, what else you guys have? The Sport Watch has a micro rotor, looks really great, and the high end watch are made by Boot& Lannon and Agenor of LVMH. Boy, I'm not sure of that. If you're talking about LVMH movements, their top ones, I'm pretty sure, are made by Le Temps Fabrique. So, yeah, Fabrique du Temp. Ali said it right. Yeah, no kidding. Well, if you put it in the right place, Isa, that's the if you. I still, it's sort of Jacob and Company. They have all of this bling, and they sort of have a history of bling and a bunch of other stuff too that they probably wouldn't want to talk about. But they sort of bling kings. I think most of their watches. They've entered a lot of watches in the GPHG, and just a few of them, I think, even made. Nominations. So I don't know. You got to watch both of them, I think. Ali, Tiffany's. I didn't know LVMH owned Tiffany's. Um, but I'll tell you something about Tiffany watches. One of my favorite Tiffany watches was called, I think it was called East West, and it's sort of a like that, sort of a long, really beautiful watch. But they had some cheap movement they put in it. They put it in, it was either a Salida or maybe I think it was the Salida they had in there. Of course, they didn't tell anybody about it, either that or quartz. Now, at one time, Patek Philippe, Vacheron Constantin, and others made really fantastic movements for it. Yeah, LVMH, all of these they're the things going up above, I don't know, even 10K, anything I've gotta sort of save a lot to get a watch at 10K. Excuse me, had a sneeze. Okey doke. What kind of watch would you really like to see somebody come out with? Let's say one of these, micro brands. Oh, yeah, yeah, this guy's on Shark Tank, or one of the guys is really into watches. He's just I forgot what his name is, but he's really loves watches. I don't know whether he has a red strap or not. But one thing I will say, and I would agree with him on, I think you can really transform an average looking watch into a great looking watch simply by the strap. Uh, where is it? This one right here. This watch, this is my Boucheron. This watch came with a plain leather gray strap. Now, Boucheron itself is makes incredibly great jewelry, and the few watches that they have, I don't know, I don't even think they're making them for men anymore. They might be. Um, they're love the cases, and then they sort of take it to the next step. They had this Girard-Perregaux 4000 movement in them, and they're just. But by putting on this croc strap from Hadley, works out great. And anyway, this is for those of us in the U.S. Um, we got our we are in our trials and tribulations, at least for a while. That may eventually go away. But uh, there's a big difference you can make. The sights is a good thing. I agree with the whole purpose of sights, and that's people going out and killing elephants and taking their tusk, and that's why they don't want rare skins to be shipped. Okay. However, they make it easy to sort of to smuggle stuff really, because they have all of this paperwork, like the paperwork is gonna change anything, and so, a smuggler wants to smuggle, I don't know, made out of three-eyed snakes or something, all they gotta do is get the right paperwork. On the other hand, what they could do that'd make it really nice for everybody is simply put a little chip in here, have a little sights chip, and in order for it to go through sites, you have to have the chip. And instead of having, God, it takes days sometimes for a watch to go through sites. So, it's there are different ways to do that. But anyway, I do think that having a nice strap really can make a difference. I've seen a lot of my watches. In fact, more and more of my watches. The Unless I have a good reason to keep it. Usually the original strap comes off. A lot of people, and I can understand that. Like I had when I got my FP Journs, I wanted an extra strap, and I paid something like, I don't know, $700 or $800 for a new AFP Journ strap. And when they didn't have them during the pandemic, I visited them right when I could, when they opened after the pandemic and didn't have any available. They said, "Why don't you run up to Jean Rousseau and get?" That's where we get them. So you can, so that's what I have been doing for a while. Yeah, Allie, I agree on that. Tambour is an interesting case without the lugs. Prefer the tambour convergence or tambour taco. Yeah, they have some interesting tambour things that I agree with that too. Ali, what you're saying about the micro brands learning from harboring too, they're the master. That would be they are a master class if you want to call harboring to a micro brand. And that's another issue. How could they be a micro brand? How could harboring to be a micro brand when when they won 4 Grand Prix awards? They're uh, they they're not a they're but on the other hand, there's something like a micro brand, a really interesting combination of things, but they're not a micro brand. First of all, they got a world-class, watchmaker in Richard Harbring. They just but they have a lot of things that other people recognize as top independents, and that is a small output and certain kind of what they have to me is what I'll call plain quality in terms of finishing. You were mentioning finishing, but and by plain quality, what I mean is they do a nice job, but it just like nice job, almost like a Bauhaus type of job. It's nice, but it doesn't sort of like whoa, just when you look at the finishing on it. They're nice. Yeah, I said I to me, you know, precious stones my favorite precious stone, I got one, uh, they used to, I don't know if they still do this or not, but Langenheim, they said it was an old German, custom, is that they put a mine diamond on top of the, balance shaft. In other words, it's not a man-made diamond, but one they dug up out of a mine and pop it up there, and that's sort of fun, but I don't know, if you like a lot of jewelry and stuff on your watch, that's then Jacob and company, those guys could they will meet your needs, believe me. Yeah, that's right, Ali, only 300 a year, not a lot. Hi, Andrew. Ah, I see what you're saying, Andrew, good point. Yeah, I'm not sure what makes a micro brand either, small independent. I think small independent would be a good name for, harboring too. Almost You take, Philippe Dufour, for example. I think he made a total in his entire career, something like 3 or 300, right around 300 watches that he ever made, ever produced. So it was a full ruby dial or jade dial or opal dial on men would make it cool. You know something, I said there's another one I liked was, Lapis Lazuli. Those that I like on a dial, good looking type of stone. Same thing with jade. I've seen some very nice jade ones as well, but I guess, like I said, a lot of diamonds and this and that, all that other jazz. Just it's just not my style. Different styles. This one, plain, easy to read, but nicely done is what I like. Yeah, yeah, that's another point. They can do things the way they want to. They don't have to go by some business policy. The other thing too, Andrew, you have sort of 2 tiers of that. You got, management, your CEOs and so forth, and then you have Richemont or Swatch. Look at Swatch did. just put all the I don't know how you make a watch without a regulator. To me, is no fun. Hmm. Yeah, a lapis I like. I tell you a company that has really fun dials. Have you seen the, H. Moser, Mad Red dial? Those are cool. They have a lot of stuff they do with dials that doesn't come off as bling, but it comes off as interesting, colorful, and nice stuff. I I don't an Italian Ali, let me tell you, I don't think well, maybe it was an Italian. Where it really comes from is something that was created by, the Richemont Group, the foundation of high horology. If you look at that thing, it's sort of interesting what they call high horology. I think they're gonna have to drop any kind of gold or platinum because the prices of those have gotten so high. But they're very flexible, okay, in terms of the definition, you could be so many different ones. Uh, they a good quality can be done in a lot of different places. It doesn't have to be in-house. Uh, that's what I like about you have, like the, Hermès. They own 25% of Voiture, so basically, Voiture, though, is independent of Hermès, but somebody owns 25%. I guess that's something, but it doesn't I would rather see a company that regularly uses something like Voiture and makes good watches, but that's not in-house. As far as, like, as Lyrique is concerned, none of ours is in-house. We don't even have a house. Soon we will, but we don't right now. And, all we care or not all we care about, what we mainly care about, though, is really very, very high quality movements. Our designer likes to keeps us from having things getting too plain on it. Hi, John. Microbrand has become a silly term. It should describe production volume, but it appears to be relegated as a pejorative for inexpensive small companies, de facto design firm subcontracting. I love the word pejorative. That's a pejorative. You're a micro brand. Nah. It got Yeah, you're right though, John. It got some micro brands like, Dumoret. Those I know the guy who runs it, who owns it. His stuff is so nice. He does the design, and he has these very clean designs, but if you've seen the Dumoret, nice case, nice everything. The whole thing is made in Switzerland. Really cool. He lives in LA. Yeah, you're right, Dial. It's maybe we shouldn't worry too much about him. I got I think, Xerix, I don't know how you pronounce it, the one we were just talking about when you have those funny hands and stuff. I don't know what they are. I know that the movements are Salida movements or something like that or, Myota, but, they make really interesting watches. Um, Trying to think the I'll tell you, this is one of the strangest ones, are the dandies that I like so much. You talk about the Chaumet dandies. Here you have this jeweler, this famous jeweler in Chaumet, And man, I'll tell you, if you have one or have seen those, they got these gorgeous um, dials and cases and everything. A jeweler made the case, high quality jeweler made the case. And so, and then you have an ETA movement. But it turns out that, but then they have the one I got has an ETA movement. And on top of that is an Agenor, what is it called? Let me see. I wrote it down. Um, Intellectual property. They put an Agenor intellectual property are the Agonese gears, and those are those gears with the little springs in between them, so that there's no slippage at all. And that can also be one of the things that adds the constant force because you got the number of teeth. If you ever have any slippage or sliding or whatever happens to gears, that Agonese gear take care of it. So here you have sort of an irony. You have a top level um, jewelry company in Chaumet. You've got sort of about as standard as you can get with an ETA movement, but then you put this module by is tip top. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, John. That's funny. Now, you know what I think is I think the real thing is you come down is that you simply have to know the brands and know about them and what it's called. You can call them a banana split if you want. What really matters though is is sort of as they say, the devil's in the details. And so that's why, at least to me, it's fun. I know a lot of people act like, what do you spend so much time about the movements and this and all of these little details? Because I want to know what I'm spending my money on. You know, if somebody throws something cheap together and kicks it out the door and wants 10,000 bucks for it. That's crazy. Or even, a couple thousand bucks. This is the funny thing. Watch collection versus the real world. Um, if we spend 1,000 bucks on something, my wife and I, we will debate it, which one to get, and do all of this stuff and bite our nails about the bank account. On the other hand, and buy a watch. Wow, 1,000 bucks, I got a deal. Run down and get the stupid watch. It would be lucky if it was that low. So we sort of live in this crazy world. Like I made a watch with Crenode. Yeah, yes, Crenode movement. Um, Francois Mojon, one of the top watchmakers in the world. He's the guy behind Crenode. Um, yeah, Crenode, Vaucheur. There are a lot of these independents that a lot of them make better than you get in house, or people who call their watches in house. I'll tell you one of the tricks I've seen that's been cropping up. You see these elaborate bridges and all of this bridge work and so forth over the gear set. But if you took a picture of the gears, the way where the tops come out, and then you superimpose it with an ETA 6498, you'd see them, they're the same, but the difference would be all of these bridges. And that's sort of something that is sort of fun to look for. You know, you have to upset a few apple carts to do that, but you want to find out about what you're paying for. Boy, you never know. Like by and large, until I got that peacock plumage watch, I didn't. I was wondering. I keep thinking, well, the Chinese are going to be making some really great stuff. Man, that thing was great, and not only that, but inexpensive for a tourbillon. So, yeah, you're beginning to see more and more of that. I think the Swiss still do it best. I love German watches, and I know there are a lot of great German watches. And actually, Urban Jurgensen started off as a Danish watch. I think the Danes are mad at us right now, and I don't blame them. But otherwise, a Ferrari with a Kia engine. There you go. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Hermes, MB&F, Shoppak. Um, yeah, no, Crenode. There's another company, man, that Crenode has. It's a very high-end movement that they make, and I think they make it with it's sort of like working with watchmakers who are really good watchmakers themselves, but there are a lot of production stuff that is too slow, and so they work with these other ones. One provides the production, sort of the what you would call it, production engine for it, and then the other one has the production design and so forth. Anywho, okay, guys. Well, my time is up, and pretty soon I'm gonna get the rolling pin. I I I've been given an hour. Thank you guys all for making it today. I didn't put up an announcement, so I'm really glad you made it. Next time I'll try to plan a little better because I had it all set up, and I'll put it up just to show people in case they missed it. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. You're great, and hope to see you next time. Take care.